Hey guys, my name's Emma. Let's talk spooky stuff. So today I want to talk to you about The Devil's Candy, which is a film that is actually from 2015, but it's just been released on, I guess, a mass scale in 2017. So it did its festival rounds in 2015. So it's quite confusing because it is a newly released film. But I've got so many suggestions from you guys to review this film and just watch it in general. And thank you so much for keeping me on that because this film was awesome. I love this movie and I'm gonna tell you guys why you should watch it. This is probably my favorite horror film thus far this year. This and Love Witch, which I'll get into that a little bit later. I have something special planned for you guys. But this film is definitely my favorite full-blown horror this year by far. So this film is also directed by Sean Bryan. I think that's how I say his name. He did Loved Ones, which obviously I like because it is an Australian film. And this film is great because he doesn't have the same exact style as it, but they both have such original and great character development in the films. So I'm really appreciating his work and I'm really gonna make sure I keep a close eye on him. The film is about a young family, a young metal family actually, which I think some of you guys will really like. They move into this new house and this house has something weird going on. The real estate agent confesses straight up that there has been 2 people who have died in the house, but he doesn't really leave the real details. And then the father of the family, who's actually a painter, he begins to paint these works of art, and amazing art by the way, that is so dark and so creepy, and he's kind of possessed. I don't want to ruin too much of the plot line, but let me tell you, there is a few different kind of subplots that kind of mix in, and what I really like about it is the fact that it explains itself, but not overly, so it doesn't dumb you down. You feel like really justified the way it ties up, and it's more like if you think about it, it all makes sense, but nothing is kind of spelt out for you. None of the characters come to the realization. Actually, one does. But I really like the way it was done like that. I felt really accomplished at the end, and everything else was just an amazing journey. So key reasons why I love this film: it is downright freaky as fuck, especially the tension and build-up. This film is brutal, like violence brutal, and the way things happen. You know when it follows, the tension builds as someone's walking closer towards you? That's the kind of feeling I got in this film. But I was screaming. I was watching with headphones on and I was losing my mind. This film just does tension and build so well, and it is so disturbing that you can't even believe what you were seeing. And I haven't seen a disturbing film like this in a very long time, so I would say it's pretty high up there, and I know that's a bold statement, but I'm totally gonna go with it. Another thing I really loved about the movie, which is something that I talk about very frequently when characters are assholes, the characters in this film were all amazing, and you really did care about what happened to them. It really grabbed me and pulled me in, and into the point where I was so invested and just hoping for the best. So that mixed with the tension really had me involved in the film. Let's talk about techniques. I love the editing of this film. I thought it was done really well, really swift. The thing is, I do talk about camera work a little bit sometimes, but good camera work, just like good lighting, just like good sound, to some extent, you're not meant to actually notice, and that's when you know you're doing a good job because it doesn't stick out, it doesn't remove you from the film, you don't lose concentration going, hey, this movie, it's just a movie. You've got to be involved in the film, if that makes any sense. I really liked that in this film. Everything came together really well, and I'm gonna put that down to the editing was just superb. There was also some parts where I really picked that out and thought that they did a really good job. Also, something that I haven't talked about a lot, texture. Texture in this film is everything. The beads of sweat, the grittiness, the darkness, the cool tones, everything I love. And you know why I love it so much? This film is about a man who's a painter, and the fact that he paints on these huge canvases that have a lot of texture to it, I thought it was really kind of layering to the film, that the film was so texturized as well. This is a really smart film. It's very slick. It is very interesting. There's not one boring scene in it. I would challenge you to try and say a scene that you would like to cut. Everything is moving in a certain direction that leads to a certain something, and there's amazing payoffs in this film. There's several of them. I totally recommend it to you guys. This has to be the most disturbing, amazing film I've watched this year, and one of the most disturbing films I've watched in a long time. And for that, I'm gonna give it a personal score of 8. I'm gonna give it a scare score of 8, and I'm gonna give it an originality score of 5. I thought this film was fantastic. Great writing, great acting, great directing, beautiful to look at, very intense, will suck you in until the very last blow. and I just can't wait for you guys to see it. If you haven't seen it, please check it out, and I promise you will not be sorry. I hope you're not gonna be sorry. Let me know down below if you've seen it and what your score is. I'd love to know if you guys scored it as high as I did, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Stay spooky. Bye, guys.